Hey there, and welcome. Have you ever found yourself scrolling through property listings just dreaming about owning your own little slice of America? You know, a spot to build a house, maybe make an investment, or just have a place to get away from it all? Well, this is for you. We're going to take that dream and make it feel a whole lot more real by showing you exactly where land is actually affordable. Okay, let's get into it.
You know, this whole idea really comes down to this one powerful thought. We're not just talking about dirt and property lines. We're talking about pure possibility. Whether your dream is a little homestead with a garden, a quiet cabin in the woods, or a smart long-term investment, it all starts with finding that blank canvas.
And that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Prices are all over the map, literally. It can feel completely overwhelming trying to find a starting point that doesn't break the bank. But hey, don't you worry. That is exactly what we're going to figure out today.
So here's the good news. That classic American dream of owning land, it is far from dead. It's just moved to different zip codes. The real key is just knowing where to look, finding those spots where your dollar stretches way, way further than you'd expect. So what's the secret sauce? How can these places be so affordable? Well, it really boils down to a few simple things. You've got states with a lot of open, rural space and not a ton of people, which means less competition, and that keeps prices down. But here's the real game changer. The rise of remote work. Suddenly, you don't have to live near a big, expensive city to have a great career, which opens up all these amazing, affordable places.
All right, it is time for the main event, what you've all been waiting for. We're going to count down from 10 to 1, the absolute cheapest states to buy land in the entire country. So buckle up, let's start this journey across America.
Kicking off our countdown, we've got a really interesting mix. At number 10, we have Michigan, where you can get an acre for around $18,300, especially up in the gorgeous Upper Peninsula. Sliding into number 9 is Alabama, with all its southern charm for just a little less at $18,100. And here's our first big surprise at number 8, Oregon. Yeah, you heard me right. While Portland is pricey, you head to the eastern part of the state, and that average price drops to just $16,000 an acre.
Coming in at number 7 is Missouri. I like to think of this one as the solid all-arounder. It's right in the middle of the country, it's got beautiful rolling hills, fertile land, it's just a fantastic mix of a low cost of living and plenty to do. And the land there averages around $14,000 an acre. A very solid choice.
Okay, get ready for this next one. I'm willing to bet that this is a state you would never, ever guess would be on a cheapest land list. This one is a real curveball.
And there it is, New York. No, not a typo. And obviously, we are not talking about Manhattan. We're talking about way upstate New York. Once you get far away from the city, you can find these incredible parcels of land in places like the Adirondacks for around $12,000 an acre. It just goes to show you, even in the most famously expensive states, there are these amazing hidden pockets of affordability.
Cracking our top 5 is Arkansas, and it really is a hidden treasure, especially if you're into the idea of homesteading, growing your own food, living a more self-sufficient lifestyle. With land averaging just about $11,600 an acre, it's an incredible spot to make that dream a reality.
All right, listen up, because we've hit a huge turning point in the countdown. The next state on our list has some of the cheapest land in the entire country, and the starting price is, well, it's a total game changer. You're going to want to hear this.
So, the 4th most affordable state for buying land in all of America is Colorado. I know. You're thinking Aspen, Vail, million-dollar ski lodges, right? But just like New York, the secret is all about knowing where to look.
Just look at that number, $3,000. Let that sink in for a second. Now, to be clear, that's the starting price per acre you can find in some parts of the state. But wow, that's just an incredible drop from everything else we've seen.
So where on earth do you find a deal like that? Well, you have to head south. We're talking about rural spots like Castilla County. Because of the high altitude and rugged terrain, it's not really suited for big developments, which creates these amazing pockets of super affordable land. It's absolutely perfect for anyone who wants to go truly off-grid against one of the most beautiful mountain backdrops you can imagine.
All right, we're in the top 3. And at number 3, we have Mississippi. Now, you might be looking at that number around $10,800 an acre and thinking, wait a minute, that's more than the starting price in Colorado. And you're right. This list looks at 2 things, the overall average cost across the state and those rock-bottom prices you can find. Mississippi offers just incredible overall value everywhere, with its classic rural charm and a super low cost of living.
And now, the final showdown. It all comes down to 2 beautiful states in the desert Southwest.
In the number 2 spot, it's New Mexico, the land of enchantment, where prices can start around $6,000 an acre. But taking the crown, the number 1 most affordable state to buy land in America is Arizona. Here you can find land for as low as $4,000 an acre. 2 unbelievable options for anyone who dreams of those wide-open spaces and fiery sunsets.
Okay, so now you know where to look, but that's only half the battle. The next question is, how do you look? Finding that perfect plot of land is about more than just picking a state on a map. You need an action plan.
And luckily, we've got a fantastic, super simple checklist for you. First, you've got to be willing to go remote. That's where the real deals are hiding. Second, and this is so important, check the accessibility. I mean, can you actually get to your land? Are there roads? Can you get utilities if you need them? Third, and this is a big one, research the local zoning laws. Make sure you can actually use the land for what you're dreaming of. And finally, don't go it alone. Work with local real estate experts who know the area inside and out.
Wow, we have gone on quite a journey, haven't we? All the way from the forests of Michigan to the deserts of Arizona. And I think we've seen pretty clearly that there are some absolutely amazing opportunities out there, as long as you know where to find them.
And really, if you take away just one thing from all this, I hope it's this. Owning your own piece of land does not have to be some impossible pipe dream. With the right info, a little research, and an open mind, it is absolutely within your reach.
So I want to leave you with this question. Now that you know it's possible, what are you going to build on your canvas? What does that dream property look like for you? Because that's where the journey really begins. Thanks so much for joining me on this exploration.